Good morning.
Got Bill Haney and y'all.
Good morning. How's the brothers doing, man?
We're doing good. How you doing, Trill Bill?
Hey, man.
I appreciate you coming through this, Trill.
Hey, man. Thank you for the invitation, brother. We
appreciate it. It's an honor.
Definitely like to come on and support the young brothers, man. You know what I mean, for trend setting and you know, giving the public and the people a way of looking at boxing, you know, on the inside. You know.
You got a casual over here.
Yes, sir.
Man, I appreciate you coming through this, young Bill. I got a lot to ask you, but I ain't gonna keep you too long. I know it's early. I know this was unexpected. So
absolutely.
I kind of this something I always want to ask you, like just from me, just watching boxing. So the first thing I want to ask you is, how did you get Devin into boxing initially? What made you?
Well, initially he was playing football. You know, good question. Thank you, brother. But initially he was playing football, and he was always kind of like an aggressive kid. You know, very competitive or whatnot. You know, you know, I'm born and raised in Oakland, and you know, just as a parent, you want to try to instill in your sons or daughters, you know, a defense. You know, how to defend themselves. And Devin, you know, learned early on that he wasn't going to be no victim. You know what I mean? And you know, he went to school, and you know, when it would be an argument or something like that, you know, and a kid would want to push on him, or you know what I mean, or say he want to fight, you know, Devin would oblige him, you know, and so he started having fights in school, and then I decided that I said to him one day, you know, you think you know how to fight against kids that don't practice, you know, the kids that aren't you know, that don't have any skill. So I asked him, did he want to go to the gym? And he said he did. And when we went to the gym, you know, we found out that it was a natural.
Okay. What position did Devin play in football?
He played running back. Yeah, he played running back. He played offense and defense. Played a little bit of the cornerback, running back. You know, he was definitely involved.
Okay, that's interesting. Can I ask you a little bit of like what you did, like you know before we, you know, the Bill Haney we know? Could I ask you a little bit like what you did before? You know.
Yeah, you know, my passion. I love music, right? And and I was in the music business for a little while, working with Blackground Records for one. You know, I did a little bit of work with Too Short and you know Kick Sneak and guys like that. You know, in Oakland.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we I called you. You know, the reason you're here is we was having this conversation, you know, about Lomachenko and Tank, and then you know, of course, we had the conversation. Devin Haney, you know, name comes up. First thing I want to say is, I'm not one of those, you know, stupid Devin Haney fans, but I respect the game. You know what I'm saying? And Devin got game. You know what I mean? So I always say, if anybody go beat Tank, it's gonna be a Shakur or a Devin Haney, somebody like that. But we was having this conversation, and Devin name came up. So I kind of want to ask you, what you feel Devin's best strength is as a boxer?
I think that, you know, he has great feet. He has great feet. He has speed. A very high ring IQ and a good understanding of the concept of boxing, which is hit and not get hit. But you know, those fighters that you mentioned are tremendous fighters, great fighters, and I could see, you know, where, you know, some will like Tank, some will like Loma, and then some will like Devin Haney. It's just good. It's good for us to be in a division that's so stacked with talent, and have the opportunity to you know, give the fans some great fights.
How you feel like Devin Haney stacks up with a Lomachenko? I really want to ask you how you feel he stacks up with, you know, all three of those guys that and Kambosos. You know?
Yeah, well, styles make fights, and Devin is right there at the top. You know what I mean? And like I said, those are great fighters. Loma has a lot of experience. Tank is a great fighter, a lot of power. And Cambosos, I think, has a lot of heart, along with some skill. But I got to go with Devin all day long. Just on his like I said, his ring IQ, the feet that he has, the jab that he possesses, and his just approach to the sweet science of boxing.
Okay. How you question that? I want to know personally. How's the Cambosos and Devin Haney? I just saw the Twitter beef. Pretty sure we all saw the Twitter beef, a couple days ago. How is that going? Like, are we in the? Is that a thing? Is that a real thing? Like, is that something that's growing?
Yeah, well, we're doing everything that we can to negotiate and make the fight happen. Of course, Cambosos has been open about his want for the fight to happen in Australia and only Australia. On our end of it is that we want to make the fight happen wherever the fight can happen and wherever the fight makes sense, whether it be Australia, whether it be the United States, whether it be the Middle East. We don't have any reservations in terms of that. I think that it's somewhat of a challenge because the only place that Cambosos is given that he wants to fight is Australia.
Right. And
I got a question.
Go ahead, Chris. Yeah, I waiting for one of y'all to. You better just go ahead.
One quick question. Now, a lot of rumors going around that it's a possibility that the Nightmare is going up to 140. Any truth in that? And then how long will it be? Is he waiting to see if he can clean out this Undisputed and probably make the move to 140? Or y'all just gradually doing it, maybe if not this year, between early next year?
Great question. Well, we know Devin is getting older, right? And he's always said that the weight isn't the most easy thing to do, but it hasn't been the most difficult thing to do either. We would like to bring some certainty to the 135-pound division in terms of the Undisputed claim that has been claimed by one or two fighters when we know that it's not the case. We know that there hasn't been an Undisputed champion in the lightweight division, and we look to make that historic feat. And hopefully that we can make this thing happen with George Cambosos and give the people what they want to see.
Okay, one more question. One more question. I'm from the old school. I know we're around the same age, and I got a different look on Undisputed, and because a lot of these guys don't do it the way they did back in the day. They grab the title and they vacate. So it's more so make them an actual title holder. So is Dev planning on to dominate a little more, then go ahead and move up to show everybody what the true meaning is Undisputed? You just can't grab it and then let it go and then not defend that. So I can see him doing it. I would like to see him do it. But, that's my question. Is he just going to show everybody I'm the baddest kid here, I don't need to do nothing else? Or if anybody think they can mess with me, come on and get some of this Nightmare work?
Oh, absolutely. We want to make the best fights and the biggest fights happen, First things first is actually making a fight to get the belts. And then secondly, making a fight where we defend the belts. And we're open for all the smoke, for sure.
What is Devin's current promotional situation? Is he still co-promoted wherever by Eddie Hearn and DAZN?
Yeah, we have a partnership with Eddie Hearn. We've had that for six to seven fights last, and it's no different. Nothing has changed.
First of all, True Bro, I just want to say I got a lot of respect for you and how you bring Devin up, and and I like to see somebody my age, getting out the mud, working hard, and enjoying the fruits of his labor. So it's really, I got a lot of respect for how you bringing up that young black man, and you got a supporter for as long as Devin want to box. You know, he's been wanting to smoke. These dudes don't want to fight him. You know, and I just want to say that I support y'all and I'm rocking with y'all. And I just want to ask if how far do you see Devin going as far as like his career and weight classes, and how many divisions do y'all want to conquer?
We definitely have our eyes set on moving up to the 140, 140, then the 147, and then maybe as he'll top out at 154, but for surely 147, right? But it just all depends on the opportunities that are there.
Okay, Trap Media got a question. Trap Media said, ask Bill if Campbell's doesn't happen, or y'all hoping to revisit the Maxie Hughes for the IBO. With the IBO being American Florida-based body, his history with the greats is there. Is it any interest there? That's the question from Trap Media.
Yeah, well, shout out to Maxie Hughes, the Cinderella man, and what he's accomplished and what he's doing. Like I say, you know, I give credit to the lightweight division. I give credit to boxers in general. You know, when they want to fight. You know, Maxie Hughes has always shown an interest and a want to fight Devin, so I give him his respect. It's not easy getting to the top of the division, getting a belt, whether it be a WBA belt, for for the position that he's in, and we don't rule out anything. But first and foremost on the top of our list is George Kambosos.
Okay.
That's what we all want. We all have our predictions on what Dev's gonna do to him. You know, I don't want to talk too soon, but I got you on here, man. I got Dev boxing this dude head off and stomping him inside 6 rounds.
I got a question for you. I heard there was a rumor that upon Devin Haney moving up to 140, that he might be working with Blu-ray.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I'm a fan of boxing in general, but also a big fan of the coaches. You know, I mean, you know, not just the fighters, being a fan of the fighters, but also being a fan of the coaches that dedicate their life to the sport. You know, and Blu-ray has been, you know, he's did a great job, both you know, with the fighters as well as in the media as well. You know, drawing attention to him and his work. So I told him openly that, you know, when we do move up to 140, that we're gonna give him a ring, and you know, help have him come in and help us put on some of that muscle mass and stuff that's needed to and strength that's needed to when you're stepping up in weight.
Yeah, okay. Y'all. So you see y'all working together for the duration, like, you know, the whole time.
Well, of course, you know, it doesn't. You know, the final decision comes with
the work
with Devin. Yeah, with the work that they put in and how they gel together. You know, right. You know, I'll do my best to make the introduction happen, bring them together. But ultimately, that, you know, they got to put in the work and develop the cohesiveness that you know, that a fighter and a trainer has to have.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I just want to say, like, this is from me to you. I noticed how, like, every time, like, you might be giving the interview, right, and then like Devin Haney will walk in, and then they'll talk to Devin Haney. I like how you always like step back. You will move everybody back, really. Like, you will move everybody. Hey, step back, and you let Devin have his you know, his moment, his time. You let Devin be the star. You don't try to, you know, for lack of, you don't try to little boy your son. You don't try to little boy your little boy. You know what I mean? You let him be his own man. Now, I like that about you. I just wanted to tell you that just what I see, like, you know, just from me watching.
Yeah, growing up in Oakland, I always heard the OG said that bosses raise bosses and kings raise kings. So Devin is the star of the show. You know what I mean? And I have one of the best jobs in the world is getting up and working for my son, working for my last name and not my first.
Facts. I know you got another son. Is he in the boxing? I seen him. I be seeing him around. I know he's knowledgeable, but like, do he box?
Which one? My youngest one?
Yeah.
The little one? No. He plays tennis. Okay. But he got a mean right hand that, you know what I mean. If they pick on him, you know what I'm saying. He can handle his business for sure. So, but no, he's a tennis player. He's very competitive. This weekend we went up to Los Angeles for a clinic, and he did really well. So I expect some big things to happen for him. Inshallah. In the future, in the tennis world.
So you got somebody? You got more than two? I thought it was Devin in the.
Well, I have an older son that is Devin's road manager, and he helps him in every facet, in every way. So it's a family business. We're tight. We're a tight clan.
I'm glad you asked that, Trap, because I was getting to that too. He's Trap Media said, ask him as a father, what was his perspective on Kenny throwing the towel in on Sean? What was his take on that? And if there was Devin, would he have done the same thing?
Well, you know what I mean. It's been some time, a little bit, since that happened. And our initial reactions, you know what I mean, as fight fans, right, is that he shouldn't have thrown the towel in. Our reaction as fans was that he sunned Sean as well. You know what I mean? But you have to also listen to Sean and the relationship that they have. Is based on those kind of emotions and that kind of drive that his dad does to him. No different than the relationship that Teofimo has with Teofimo Sr., right? Everyone has their own relationship and their own approach. It's different than mine, but I also respect the fact that Sean came out and said, that's my dad, and that's just the way that they do things.
Yeah. I shows on the boat. Like I felt like he took the moment away from Bud a little bit. I felt like he took the moment away from Sean a little bit. You know what I mean? But this how I look. I feel like it's always that question now. Would he have would have stopped him? He stopped him. True enough. I'm saying like would he have knocked him out type deal? Because if you ask me, I feel like Sean was in his right mind. He was in his senses. Clearly, he was hitting on the mat. You know what I mean? So I don't like the fact that he threw it in, and then I don't like how he said in the beginning. He said I knew I was gonna throw the towel in. You know what I mean? Type deal.
Oh, hey, there. Hold on. I'm gonna call you back on my other phone. They got me on this podcast. I'll call you right back. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. What
has Camboso's team sent anything? Because I remember Camboso said that he was waiting for you guys to send an offer, and Devin said that they wanted your team to send everything. Have Camboso's sent an offer or anything like that?
No, but I'm expecting something to happen in the next 48 hours in terms of knowing exactly where this thing is going.
Okay. So what's okay? That's good. Good question, Vivi. I think from when Cambosis first, even before Cambosis got the belt, he was saying, I'm gonna fight Haney. This is my question to you. Did he, when he first got the belt, was he trying to avoid y'all? Was he trying to go somewhere else? Was he doing was he really trying to fight Tank or Loma? Type deal, was he?
It's yet to be seen, whether it was all, smoke and mirrors or not, like I said, that we're under the assumption that you do everything that you can to make the fights happen, right? Wherever they can happen at the best place. He's been pretty adamant about it happening in Australia, but we just also learned that Australia is at 50% capacity right now with the surge of the corona, right? We know that right now the U.S. is wide open, right? And when he said that the fight has to make sense, I thought that he meant that money-wise, stadium-wise, sponsorship-wise, and all the particulars, right? But I reserve the right to give it another 48 hours before I speak.
Okay. Have you heard anything behind the scenes about him fighting anybody, other than Devin Haney? Like this, if the fight didn't happen with him and Devin, have you heard anything? Anybody that he might be trying to fight somebody else?
I hear the same rumors that you guys hear in terms of that,
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I also understand that, like I said, that we're wide open here. You know what I mean? In the United States, over the weekend, you saw stadium after stadium sold out. With the football. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very optimistic about the fight. I just don't know where it's going to be at.
I know I said earlier that I wasn't, like a mega fan of Devin, but I am a fan of Devin. But this because I'm a fan of Earl Spence too, because they are willing to fight, anybody. Like they'll fight pretty much, anybody. I like about Devin how he always ready for the smoke. And they understand I'm not when I say I'm not a fan, I'm saying I'm neutral. This really what I mean. I'm neutral when it comes to him, and I can see people not wanting to fight this man. I'm like, why y'all so scared of him? They say this man got pillow feast. I said this before. They say this man got pillow feast. He no defense. All that good shit they say about him. I'm like, so why y'all won't fight, dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it that he can't who was it? Ryan Garcia. Know how that went. Teofimo Lopez. You know how that went. Lomachenko franchise started a whole different type thing. You know what I'm saying? So we know how that went. And my question, this really why Devin grew on me, because I'm like, it's a reason that nobody wants to fight this guy, because boxers know more than we know, from the outside. So it's a reason everybody is tiptoeing around this man. And I said that to say this: is it really that hard for Devin Haney to get fights? Is it like a stressful thing for y'all? Is it like way look on the outside to get meaningful fights?
Well, it sure shouldn't be if he's pillow hands and
right,
and all those things that they describe him as not fighting anybody and so on and so forth. But getting the respect of both you and the rest of the fans, and boxing enthusiasts and is everything for us. You know what I'm saying? We don't look for nobody just to ride us or bandwagon us or none of that. We look to develop the respect of of the boxing enthusiasts. And if it's one guy at a time, you know what I mean? That's fine with us. But Devin, you must realize that Devin is the youngest of all of them, and we plan on being here for a long time.
Right. I see you said Devin Haney. I heard you say Devin Haney might top out at 154, but 147 for sure. So, question to you: what's Devin natural weight? Not the way he be, when he work out, be in shape. Let's say Devin stopped boxing. What would he be like? What would he be walking around? Type deal.
You know what? Let me see how to answer that. Well, it just depends. It depends if he's not doing anything versus when he's in the gym.
Because when you say 54, in my mind, I think, damn, it's big for Devin. You know what I mean? When I heard it.
But the thing about it is that as he matures and he becomes the veteran in the sport, right? To whereas you have other guys who are physically stronger than him because of the age, just the maturity that they have. I think as he grows and as he matures and then he becomes the veteran, then I think that we'll be able to take a lot more chances in terms of stepping up. And when I say stepping up to a 154, similar to what the Ray Leonards of the world did, the Floyd Mayweathers of the world have done, where it's not naturally they're fighting weight, but they had enough skill and enough experience to step up.
Okay, yeah, I can see it. So, okay, like later. Okay, I can see that. So what? Let's say I don't even want to put this juju in the air though, but let's say the Kambosos fight don't happen, right? Mm-hmm. What would Devin? Is it anybody y'all like got y'all out or lined up, or y'all might get in mind that y'all might want to fight?
No, I'm not trying to put that juju in the air either, brother. You know what I mean? Right now we're doing we're keeping the faith. We're doing as much as we can. With working with Kambosos and his team, working with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, DAZN, right, to make this thing happen.
Okay. And Track Media USA said, you had a question?
Yeah, I was going to ask him, with Devin getting a Kambosos fight and beating Kambosos, I believe that would make him the youngest undisputed champion in boxing history, if I'm not wrong. What would that mean to you, and what would that mean to Devin as far as like legacy and accomplishments?
That would mean everything. I mean, when you say history, it's been so many great fighters, right? And any time that we can be mentioned in the same sentence with some of those greats, it's a major accomplishment for us. So we look forward to it and looking forward to that opportunity to join the history books for sure. It would mean everything.
What's your outlook on the franchise title and them trying to say that DevinHaney's belt, them doing everything they can to try to diminish the value of DevinHaney's belt?
Well, I'm enjoying the process in the sense of that the old narrative and the old way of downplaying a fighter's accomplishments, you're not able to do that. And the promoters, the networks, and alike, because of platforms like yours. Platforms that give us the opportunity to come out and tell our story. Give us the opportunity to say that we're available.
BF, all my brothers and shit. I miss all them folks.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You guys are doing an amazing job. Shout out to BF too, to stay on top of it. You know what I mean? And now you know what I mean. I'm gonna be tuning in to Southern T for sure.
Appreciate that, man. It meant a lot coming from you. Like, no cap. I was like, no, thank you. Appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it.
Without a doubt.
He said, ask him, are there any interest in the Robert Easter fight at 40? I know there was before, but would this fight still be something they will look for?
Is Robert Easter still fighting?
Yeah. He just had a fight at 140 like last year or something. When AB fought in February. It was last year, huh? Yep, last year in February.
Oh, last year. Oh, yeah, I didn't even know who he was. I thought he had retired or something. I didn't know he was still fighting. I got to check it out. I didn't know.
Yeah. Okay, but
I got another question. Real quick. I was just gonna ask y'all, like, growing up, who did Devin study, and who did he, look at to gain his style and how he fights? What were some of the fighters that he idolized growing up?
I'm sure. I think I would say that Floyd being is probably his all-time favorite. I'm a Sugar Ray Leonard fan. But I would definitely say probably Floyd is at the top of the list.
Yeah, I would have guessed from looking at how he fights that, Floyd and Sugar Ray were two of his biggest influences. I have another question as well.
Yeah, I think that I think that a lot of the Sugar Ray Leonard.
I got a question for Bill.
The Sugar Ray Leonard is something that I like, and then you also have Roy Jones that's in there that has been a big influence. He's a friend of the family and stuff like that. So. It's probably Floyd, Roy, and then Sugar Ray.
Go ahead, Crush. Crush. Al Green said he said ask Trill about Devin beating Floyd Mayweather in the gym. Is that true? In sparring?
Yeah. But make no mistake about it. We got big respect, tremendous respect for Floyd. They asked me. The question was asked, when did I realize that Devin was the ish? Yeah. And I told him the time that I recognized it most was getting in there with the legendary TBE Floyd Mayweather himself, and the fact that Floyd couldn't touch him. And it was like Devin was I told Floyd during it, I was like, it's like you fighting a mirror, Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you're trying to do to Devin, you know what I mean? It's like Devin was doing back to him. So I think it was.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that was a great question.
Yeah, it was misinterpreted as an insult instead of the fact that it was one of those times that you can really sit on it. Yeah, you can really sit on it and say, God damn, he beat the crap out of Floyd inside the gym. And now, this is not up under the lights. It was inside the gym. And of course, Floyd is he was at that time 147 pounder, and Devin was 135 pounder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So how old was Devin around
then? It was before the Conor McGregor fight. So it was some things that it was some things that both Floyd and Devin learned about each other, right? Devin learned some things about himself and developed a confidence moving forward. And of course, I think Floyd learned something about himself in the sense that the sun was setting on a great career.
Right. Drill Bill, is there any fights outside of Kambosos and your son that you would be looking forward to as a boxing fan? Say like a Spence Crawford or something like that, or a Canelo Charlo?
Oh, absolutely. The Spence Crawford is right up there, at the top of the list of fights that I know that Spence is a heck of a fighter, and Crawford is a heck of a fighter, and it's similar to seeing Godzilla fight King Kong. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm from Texas, so I got to rock with my guy EJ. So when that fight happens, I'm rocking with him to beat Bud. So I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah, I can't pick a dog in that fight. You know what I'm saying? I got a great relationship with Crawford. He's always showed mucho respect to me and my family. Earl Spence has as well, and that's just something that I hope that they can get the most money, right, and make it historic, right, for both families.
He said, my guy St. Louis, let me put his question up here. He said, ask Trill Bill what they think about Frank Martin being one of the few willing to call Devin out respectfully. Also, what about Montana Love at 140, since they both on the zone?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Frank Martin and Texas, you know what I'm saying? That don't breed no punks. You know what I mean? And you know, for Frank to call Devin out, right, is what he was supposed to do, and that's how he's supposed to get out. You know, he has a great coach, great team, right, and you know, we don't take him lightly. I was watching earlier this morning. It was a highlight of him, a knockout. You know what I'm saying? So you know, we got big respect for Texas, and also I have respect for Frank and his coach. I really like his coach a lot.
Yeah. How about Derrick James?
Absolutely. I've been to Derrick James's gym and everything, man. He you know, he showed us nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? I studied this game, huh?
You and Devin?
No, I went with Black Fight Fan. Black took me over there.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I got a chance to meet him, and I think that was the day that I met Frank. I might have met Frank on that day. You know what I'm saying? But man, shout out to Derrick and what he's been doing. I'm following him. You know what I mean? And I know he's gonna prepare Frank in a way that he's gonna be ready for the top level competition.
Yeah. Yeah, see, when that happened, I was like, yeah, Frank. I said, good job, Frank, because they did what you're supposed to do. I said, because nobody really does that. Nobody directly says. And when he said, I was like, oh shit. Because nobody really directly says, you know, DevinHaney's name. You know what I mean? Type shit. So yeah, I said he did what he's supposed to do. But I said right now, we gonna let Devin worry about this title business, and you know, we gonna let Frank Martin take care of his business. Right now, Devin got. I said this is exactly what I said. Devin got title problems right now, so that's what we worried about. Type business. But I think in the future,
yeah, he did exactly what he's supposed to do. You know, and not in the sense of the rest of the guys that have been, you know, pussy in the sense of trying not to mention his name and trying to, you know, say, you know, put obstacles in front of potential fights, you know, by saying, you know, what is done and stuff like that.
If you look this way, then we get the.
Yeah. So like I say, shout out to Frank. You know, wish him and his team much success.
Right. He said, salute team, respect to the chat, salute Trib Bill. What's good, Jess Dubois? We just sliding through this jump. But yeah, Trib, I didn't want to keep you too long. I know you're a busy man. I know I woke you up. I probably woke you up. But I kind of sound like you won't even know, so I appreciate what you do, bro.
Hey, listen, I appreciate your consistency and being persistent in terms of getting me in, you know, and talking to me. I'm glad you did the follow up. You know, sometimes, you know, when things don't add up, a person will quit and then develop an opinion develop an opinion. You're right, and say that, you know, how, you know, the person, you know, develop opinion about me, right, instead of, you know, staying down with it. So I'm happy that it happened, brother, and I'm going to be tuning in to Southern T Boxing, you know, a lot more now.
Hello, Sari said he got a question. Go ahead, ask Sari. You should just ask the question. But yeah, but I appreciate you sliding through this, John, though, because you probably my biggest guest that been through this, John. Be real with you, real life.
Oh, brother, you got what it takes. I might be the biggest now, but I won't be the biggest later. You know what I'm saying? Stay grinding. You know what I mean? Keep doing what you're doing, and we try to get Devin over here in this joint. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
True Bill, if I may ask one more question before you leave.
Absolutely.
As far as skill-wise and the eye test, what fighters do you see giving Devin his toughest fights, or that will really push Devin to another level as far as, like, anybody from 130, maybe even 126 to 147, as far as, like, young and up-and-comers?
Well, the toughest test. I always said that I felt that the most dangerous person in the division was and you're talking about inside the lightweight division, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I always said that I think that the most dangerous guy in the division is Tank Davis, who, you know, I'm also a fan of what he's did and accomplished in the sport, and, you know, fan of, you know, Baltimore, and, you know, got a lot of good friends and stuff, you know, out there. So, I know that he has dynamite in both hands. You know what I mean? I know that Devin has better feet. But he's right up there, man. He's right up there, and I think that fight, you know what I mean, will be a King Kong and a Godzilla meeting as well.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you for taking time to answer my questions, and it's been an honor to talk with you and chop it up with you.
Absolutely, King. You guys have a good one, man. Blessings on top of blessings to you guys.
Appreciate you, King.
And to all my Muslim brothers and sisters, salam alaikum, rahmatullah.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Peace be upon y'all.
Appreciate you, T, man. I ain't even gonna have Margaret, man.
Nah, nigga, y'all did that. Y'all say DevinHaney. I said, oh shit, let me call Bill back. Because he said follow up with him, and I hadn't even followed up with him. You know what I mean? He said follow up. I was like, oh shit, let me hit him up and see what I really tried to get him on for a later time when I called him. But he was like, shoot me the link. He was like, are we live now? I was like, yeah. I said, all right, peace. Come on.
Oh yeah, man. That was perfect.